Hey, it's Neil. I'm just on my phone. So I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. I put the Patch XT up in the rack yesterday night, and I just want to test a bunch of things before I run a cajillion feet of cable. And I spent $150 and bought a whole bunch of 25-foot cat cables. And I just want to rig stuff up temporarily just to make sure everything's cool. So that's what I'm going to do today. And it is my day off. You can tell I'm disheveled and whatever, but day offs are tech days. Whoever has a day off, really, right? We'll do a little bit of testing and we'll see how it goes. And things will either work the way I think or things will go off the rails. And that's what troubleshooting is all about. So I'm going to give it a go and let's see what happens. Here we go. So I'm just in my machine room right now. It's kind of tight. And this is the back of the XT up high. And I'm just about to rig my temporary cables in here just to make sure everything's working and assigned properly. I have my spreadsheet in the distance that I can see. So lower left 4 means the lower leftmost fourth DB25 connector in the Patch XT uses cat cables 1 and 3, which are color red. And those are using IO 57 to 64, and it's covering 4 pairs of stereo processors. So with this, I can trace my red cables here in the machine room. I have my silly sort of Morse code here. So the long dashes represent 5 and the dots represent 1 because my label maker ran out. So this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is cable number 14. It's, of course, out of sight on the next page. As before, here's my spreadsheet. You can see I've matched this on the Patch XT's setup. So here's 57. Dangerous compressor, that's my cat. Left and right is paired. They're locked, so this will show up as a single blob on the patch matrix, which means if I drop this dangerous compressor in line with something, it will automatically send signal to it and bring it right back. I don't have to think about anything else. And I'll show you how that works in a second. I've also have the UBK fatso here, left and right. They're not paired because I want each side to be independent if necessary. SSL bus compressor operating in stereo, paired. The TG limiter, not paired because I like using that in mid-side sometimes, so I want independent control and routing control of the left and right signals. So I'll just save what I have so far, and you can see on my equipment grid here, there it is. So there's the dangerous compressor, there's the 2 independent UBK fatso channels, stereo SSL bus compressor, and independent TG1 limiters. I'll probably end up coloring this red so it matches all this and everything's just uniform everywhere. But this is just a test for now. The way I have it is the 16 outputs of my DACs show up here. So if I look all the way up to the top, here they are. Matrix DAC 1 goes all the way to 16. I also have the feeds here for my Neve Summer, and that's channels 1 to 16. So what I've done is in Logic, I have a test tone coming up on DAC 1 and 2, which is stereo 1 and 2. I can just pop these on, and here's my initial test. We're currently monitoring the output of my Neve Summer. So if I route stuff to channel 1 and 2, that tone, we should hear stuff immediately. So here we go. Oh yeah, we got tone. There's the signal. There's the signal. And I'll just drop number 2 on here. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's working. I can verify it here. That's working. All right, so my next test, I can just bypass these. My DACs 9 and 10 have a drum loop running. So I'll just, can you hear my cat playing with a, anyway, I'm gonna drop 9 and 10 on here. Let's do that. Where is it? DAC number 10. And I'm gonna feed that into Summer. You know what, how about Neve Sum 5 and 6? So that's working. Everything's fine. All right, so here's the test. I'm just gonna open this up. So if I've set up and wired everything correctly, if I drop this on, Oh, I got nothing. I must have wired it backwards. Let's double check this. I am getting no signal. Okay, so it looks like I screwed up my my patching either on the back of the XT or on the floor behind the units. So I'll be right back. I'm going to check that. Well, that's exactly what it was. Under the table, I had the inputs and outputs patched backwards. As soon as I redid that, got sound right away. So I can go to the SSL, I can verify it's working. Yep, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so that's working. So because that's set up correctly for 2 channels, that means the channel should also work. So we'll just sub them out. And there we go, we got signal. Yeah, it's working. Oh, I gotta dust this too. But there we go, so that's working. And that's how fast the patching is. Here, let me just make a space here. We'll drag these back. And notice how fast this is. I don't have to really think about anything. And that was wired correctly because we're hearing signal. So there we go. That's working. And because that's part of a 4-channel pair on the cat cables, that means if I wire the UBK, that should work right away. So if I just drop these in. Oh yeah, I'm hearing it on one side, ridiculous. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's working. There we go. Just gonna turn this down. Because I have free reign of my gear, even though I only have these 4 processors in so far, I can just drop them on here and just go to town here. You know, what does it sound like if it's running through all this stuff? And you can see they're all going. Ridiculous, but I can try it. Or if I've changed my mind, but I'm not quite sure, I can just bypass like the SSL. That's literally how fast this is. Oh man, I'm so excited, but now I gotta wire all the rest of this stuff, but you can see where I'm getting at. So we have success, this is good. All right, onwards, I will be back. So here's just a quick example. I mean, I still only have these 4 processors hooked up, but I do have a preset for my 16 channels of DACs to my summer as a preset. So I can turn on 1 and 2, which has a drum loop on it. Let's take a listen here. And I could be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I want the fatso on here. Whoa, okay. And then maybe let's hear my Moog on 3 and 4. And maybe I'll put the dangerous compressor on there. So that compressor setting was pretty drastic, but what I could do is try a parallel situation here. So I could have the DAC going to my summer for the Neve, and that's my drum loop. And then if I mult it to that compressor and bring it back on the summer 3 and 4, I can mix that crunched signal to taste. So there's just the compressor. Here's the original dry signal. And there's both of them together. So lots of flexibility here. You know, I could try something else here. Maybe I could put the, because I don't have anything set up yet, I could just put the Chandler here and do the same over here. But see how fast that is? Like that's as fast as the patching is. And I'm done. I don't have to think about anything else. It just does it. And this is probably my greatest work right here. Not really. So there it is up there. I have to get all the wiring sorted out permanently, but I'm gonna finish my tests here. And so far so good. The first 4 processors work great. I'm going to go with the next 4, and then the next 4, and then the 500 series stuff here. And I'm going to tie in the inserts and the aux send and the Q send and this EQ here. So, oh, and the modular, of course. So a bunch of things to test. But for a first quick double check to make sure things are behaving, so far so good. So onwards I go. All right. Talk to you soon.